I really love that because I know you mentioned that you feel like you're just playing dress up. And I've seen you transform into a baby face, into a bunch of other characters. Have you ever thought about something else, like a sci-fi character?
Would love to. I think I'm so inspired by visuals and films. And I know when we weren't in here, we were talking
Like,
about
I bet
films
you'd
like
make
Prometheus.
a badass avatar.
I would love to. I mean, I love reimagining the classics. Like if I was to do an albino orc now, but have it dressed in head-to-toe diesel, what would that look like? I like the merging of worlds because I kind of read the room, especially with social media. There's so much inspiration and like novelty elements of it. So I like to pull direct references of like the TikTok humor and merge that with the classics. And I think that's how you sort of make it your own.
Yeah.
Like if I'm doing Doubtfire, I'm going to do like the TikTok version of Doubtfire.
Which I love.
Like on a stripper pole in a club.
Like if you're going to do it, modernize it. So
that killed me.
I know, I loved it. I'm so Doubtfired out though.
It's over.
Would love to do monsters though. I think it's difficult when you're at a working capacity because the transformations cost so much money.
Yeah.
So as much as I would love to be like, hey, I want to drop 6 figures on transforming myself into like a silverback gorilla. Just because I want to be in a silverback gorilla suit with a fucking animatronic guy off camera operating the face. That's where I get excited, but I have to work as well. And being like, hi, Balenciaga, do you want me to come as like a silverback gorilla and like a high heel? They're like, we'll do Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton works for now.
Still palatable. Palatable.
Yeah, there's room.
But I think that you're really pushing the standard.
I hope so.
Because I would love for all of us to take a page from your playbook and approach our lives that way. I think we're so scared to color outside of the lines. And you obliterate the lines.
You have to have fun. I talk to people all over the world, old, young, and everyone just says, no matter what it is that you do, just have fun. We're only on this big floating rock for such a short period of time. One time, just have fucking fun. Stress about the adult shit, which we all have to, but like...
Get it done.
No one's gonna fucking care anyway when you're gone, so just have fun.
My whole thing is like, since we're creators, when we're dead, our art will fucking be here.
Yeah.
God.
You know what I mean? And like, that's our
it
way of staying alive. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to be like a floating little lesbian orb up there in the multiverse. But that's my thing too. Like, I feel dissociated often. Yeah. And that's what connects me to art. Because I'm like, oh yeah, we're floating on this rock. Where the fuck is the universe? I don't know where we are.
We're not going to be here forever, but what we put out into this planet will. Especially if it's digitalized.
And the lasting effects of it will too.
It's immortal. You've achieved being immortal.
It's
the work
true.
will live on forever.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Whatever you put on the internet, like, stays there. Which, by the way, I know there have been moments, which I really respect you for, where people have been derivative of your work. And I hear the way that you talk, and like something that I feel, you can tell me, Jen, what you feel is like a real artist. We were talking about this yesterday. Even the best musicians, you grow up listening to musicians that you love. You're obviously pulling from their work.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
It's not that you're copying. It's that you're being inspired.
You're informed.
And then you form your own thing. But there have been some people online that have directly stolen your work and taken like the actual way that you do things. And I'm just curious, like, how do you deal with that? I know you're always evolving, but it's really frustrating. And I remember a moment online when people were really stealing your work. And obviously, like you said, you like being behind a mask, but it's not like people are recognizing your face. They're recognizing the people that you're transforming into. You were just in the shadows.
Sure.
And then these people come and they just rip your shit off.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Look, a lot of people aren't creatively inclined, yet they have creative jobs. And I see that a lot. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, when you're praised more for your work and Elliot gets put on the back burner, you become... I was so defensive and protective of that one thing in my life going right. And the transformation... Look, I'm stealing people's faces. I didn't invent... it's like...
I steal
ironic.
For a living.
It's ironic.
Right.
But I think people don't pay much attention to the artwork of a certain generation. They just look at the numbers growing. And I think back then on social media, I went from a very humble, like 100,000, which was still great. When I started doing those transformations and MTV were posting them and all of this, it was like 20,000 followers a week. So I understood that there was going to be a young generation being like, well, it's working for
Right.
It's working for him. Let me do it. And
Right.
look, obviously, I've grown up on social media. I'm almost 30. I'm like coming out of my 20s. Like,
We're the same.
thank fucking
You're
God.
93, baby, right?
Yeah.
We're
We're
94.
94.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm so ready to put my 20s behind me.
Oh no, I don't want to. Yeah.
It's been an experience though. Being 20 on social media with no friends and no family in real life has been very.
I find that so hard to believe, you know? Having you here before me, I mean, since the moment that you walked in the door, I don't think that it's us. I think that it has to do with you. You've been so natural and organic and easy to get along with.
Thanks. I don't know. I find my life can be quite jarring to most people. As a gay man who was once sober for 4 years, had plastic surgery, dresses up as women, has a fucked up family. Like, you're already making yourself very, like,
It's like,
limited.
oh, less people that can relate, less people.
And I live in England, in the countryside, where there's not many people that have like-minded opinions as me. I want more from life, and I'm not going to settle for less. And a lot of people you meet try and, like, tell you you're delusional for wanting that. And
Oh my God, because they're
jealous.
well, they're lazy.
They're
They're also lazy, and they would rather like hold people back to remain in their circuit.
I think they're
than watch them grow.
terrified. I think they're terrified.
Yeah.
I think people like you scare people
Sure.
because you are showing them that every day that they choose to live a boring life, they're the ones that are choosing it.
And don't
Because
get me
you're
wrong, my
proof.
life can be boring.
No,
at
but what I
times,
mean by is-
but you're allowed to want more
Right.
from life.
You're allowed to color
Yeah.
outside the lines. And I think that people who aren't comfortable doing that or have been, I mean, society has changed a lot since we were born.
Yeah.
And even our parents and our grandparents, they had very different belief systems than we do. And I think that it's very scary to face that you can actually do different than what you were taught. You can actually cut that, what we were saying, social umbilical cord and break free. You know that I consider you the best title for you to be just artist, but you are known to a part of
do
the world as a drag queen. Is that a title that you're comfortable with?
Sure.
Okay. Now, for people who don't know, who I think it's important that they become maybe a little bit more educated, and I mean that in the least facetious way possible, because I
Stupid
think that
people.
there is, or literally
Ignorant.
perhaps
Yeah.
lack of access to
Okay,
knowledge.
yep.
You know, maybe they were raised in a very different way. I'd like to think.
Okay.
I want to give them a very,
Yep.
like trying to soften the blow for
Yeah.
myself.
Play-Doh.
Well,
Allegory.
drag is everywhere now.
Right.
That's the only reason I say
But
that
I
now. You
think
can't
that-
turn on a single TV
No.
show without there being a drag queen.
No, you can't. And I love that.
True,
Yeah.
but like I don't see you on Drag Race.
No.
No. I think you're
Never.
past that. I think you're way past that.
You said it.
Yeah. So
did.
I was getting somewhere, which is, I think that people have a misconception
Yeah.
with drag, that it's this hypersexualized thing. I think that drag can be a lot of things.
Yeah, agreed.
But if you had to define what drag is, how would you define it?
Drag for me is eclectic, and there are so many different executions of it. For me, personally, it was really just being able to express the ability to create this hyper feminine approach to a character. So I'm not the best person to talk on drag because it's not a world I'm in anymore.
But for me, it's performance art.
I mean, it is. The whole thing,
That's
from the
it.
moment the wig goes on and the lashes, you become a character.
Right.
Like, I'm not walking around Elliot, like, throwing my weight around. Everything becomes a little daintier, and it's
Your
like...
voice, like James Manfield. His
everything.
voice goes up.
Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah.
But it is so unique and different to so many people. And again, I try and play devil's advocate, and I try and see things from everyone's perspective. I've lived with trans women my whole life, so I have a very unique approach to how men interact with women, especially trans women, that whole process. And the same with drag. And when you've been in that world and you kind of don't know any differently, you do have to remind yourself that there is an entire population and world that lives a different way of living. And that is their normal. From the moment they're born, they're given a book and they're told they meet Prince Charming and you fit the golden slipper and that's
Right.
it. So I do understand why some people get weirded out by it. That men dress up as women. It's always going to be shocking to some people. And that is also why we do it. We are trying to be shocking and be rebellious. When I did drag, this was before Drag Race, or maybe there was one season out. I remember the first time I got out of the car and I walked down the street, people were losing their minds. It was insane as a gay man to know that I could dress up in these crazy, outlandish wigs and makeup and really transform myself.
Launching.